Farmers around the state are suffering severe financial impacts from the drought, certainly now. Some in Carlsbad are trying to keep the wolf from the door by selling water rights to the oil and gas industry. One official with the local Domestic Water Association says some well owners are applying for commercial permits that allow them to pump more without doing the required legal notification. Lieutenant Governor, this begs a very obvious question. We spend so much time in this studio, other places, newspapers around the state talking about our most precious commodity, water. How is it that our precious commodity of water can seem to be just a market-driven commodity now, where it's to the highest bidder, whoever's willing to pay more money for it? Is this a good thing for our farming community in the overall?
It's for our farmers, it's about hanging on in a lot of ways to be able to sell their water. I'm always fascinated by these concept of the wells, whatever the use is, residential or commercial, how people say, well, I have my own well. Well, that water in your well comes from the water table somewhere.
That's right.
The water table is the water table. So first of all, there's a lot of questions still about fracking throughout the country and its impacts. It's a high water user in a time of a serious drought in New Mexico. I was fascinated in the report, or some of the news reports, that actually some people were hiking up the price of the barrel, which is what I think we charge.
Hugely, as a matter of fact.
We
Not a little
charge
bit,
the
but
least amount of money for a non-renewable resource. We charge less than we will pay for our coffee at Starbucks, which is a renewable resource. So I think there's some of that actually hopefully will cut across. They will, and it'll conserve a little bit. But it is about their livelihood and about them not being able to, Dan and I are both from that area of the state.
Sure, absolutely. And do I hear you am I hearing you properly that it is a commodity that they own and that they can?
It's a property right, Gene.
A property right, okay, so this is a property right.
Property right.
Do you have no issue with them doing it the way they're doing it?
Well, I have issues, and I think there's a lot of questions. But also, I think, as the law stands now, it's a property right, and we don't have any way to say you can't. The only way to do it is not to give them those commercial permits if, in fact, they're pumping from their wells. That's something that's determined by the agency, whether they can.
Go ahead and pick up on that, Dan. That's an interesting
I just, well, this is something we could talk. I mean, PBS has done. I can't tell you how many shows we've done on PBS about this issue. It's clearly. This really is going to come down to the haves and the have-nots. I mean, we were talking off the air earlier, I mean, you've got water down in places like Carlsbad and Roswell. You got the artesian aquifer that's rechargeable. They've built back up the water table through conservation methods. But that whole Roswell, Fort Sumner, all the way down to the Texas border is 200,000 people, You've got Albuquerque that's sitting at 1 million, ain't got no water. I mean, they're going to keep letting water flow down to 200,000 people. I mean, water is going to follow the politics. The policy is going to be crafted by the people that have the most votes. The most votes are going to be the urban areas. It's an unbelievable challenge and a battle between agriculture and commercial needs. I think the big problem, and not to take us off on a different area, but a lot of this I think is stemming from, and a lot of these problems with agriculture is stemming from the rich people aren't paying their taxes. We have set up a system in this country that if you own a farm, you can't pass that farm on. It's financially, financially. You can't do it. It's not done. You have to. You just can't afford to do it. And so you got folks that are sitting around saying, "I've got 500 acres. I got a 1,000-acre farm, but I want to give it to my son and daughter-in-law. It's going to cost me $5, $6, $7 million in inheritance tax. This thing doesn't make $100,000 a year. So what do? I can't sell it to someone else. I can't give it to my youth, to my family to farm. So I got to find an economic viable option, and it's things like this." I think
put money in the bank
to stay alive,
kids,
because they can't survive. And the last thing I'd say on the fracking specific, I think that I think the jury is this is one of those climate things. There's as many people saying fracking's good as there are saying it's bad. I have a hard time understanding how this is bad to the extent that you're taking this water and injecting it completely back into the ground, which it seems to me like more of that water is going to go to recharge the aquifer than would if you just put it out on the plants, if you just put it out on the farm, if you let it flow down the river to Texas. That doesn't take into account all the aspects of farming, but it seems to me if I take 50-gallon drum out of the ground, put it in a 50-gallon drum. I have no carriage loss, no evaporation, and I shoot that 50 gallons back in the ground again. I would assume more of that's
But it's
getting
not
to
the
the
same
aquifer.
water. See, that's the problem. It's not the same water. I mean, you could turn your
got
tap on and
sand.
light it on fire in some situations.
Oh,
I mean, it's
well,
not,
that's-
Look, I hear you, but let me move on to Larry. Here's what concerns me. Are we seeing a bubble? A price of water bubble.
We might be.
Lieutenant Governor made mention that the spiking in prices, and once these things get off the leash, it's a huge problem.
Sure.
We're just seeing the start, Gene, of that question.
Yeah.
Seriously.
and
Okay.
You know how fiercely independent ranchers are and farmers. And, the simple fact is that they can make more money selling the water to the oil companies than they can raising cattle or growing hay.
Right. Right.
That's a powerful economic argument.
Interesting. Where does that play out, though? Who wins in that scenario? Again, Dan mentioned the rich and the poor. Do the more well-off well owners and landowners win off in that scenario and everybody else doesn't? I mean,
I agree totally with Dan. It's a property rights issue.
Yeah.
And that's where that begins and ends.
And here's a crazy
Sure.
one, Gene. I don't mean to jump in except to say that I think it could be, if you think about this, kind of stretch this out and think it full circle, this could help save farming. I mean, people who don't have the ability to farm today, that don't have the resources to farm today, can sell this water to ranching, put money away. Now, as the cost of fuel goes up, the cost of seed goes up, the cost of workers go up, they have more money to go back at
I have
farming
to
and do it
jump in.
correctly.
Water is not a perfectly, this is not a renewable resource. It's used and it's gone. And when Dan says you just re-inject it, that's not true. I mean, the truth of the matter is that here in New Mexico, most of our land where we use irrigation farming, 70% of the water goes back into the aquifer when you irrigate. It goes back in. It's cleaned for the most part by that irrigation
Where do you get that number
farming. From the economist I spoke with earlier
That's not what the
today,
state engineer said.
who studies this stuff.
But that's not what the state engineer says.
70% goes back in through irrigation farming, back into the aquifer.
That's different than what the
if
New Mexico
soil is
hydrologists
right.
say.
I
mean,
hear you, Dan. I would like the opportunity to speak. You've spoken for a long time today. I know you're pro-fracking. Let me continue.
I'm pro-business and pro-New Mexico.
You know what? Agriculture is a business too, and we talk about the health of our community. We have the choice to continue fracking and to put our money and our resources into fracking. You know what? When we talk about business and economy, we have alternates to fracking. We have other ways to get our fuel. We don't have alternates to food, right? We need fuel for our bodies too. We can't say, hey, I'm going to do something other than food. We can say, I'm going to find other ways to fuel our cars, to fuel our businesses, to fuel our houses. We can use alternative energies. We can use other stuff. We can't do that with food. That sludge stuff that was on Huffington Post a couple of weeks ago, it's not working out so well in terms of like taste and things
Sure.
like that.
You know, it's interesting. Even the folks at Lanel are trying to come up with ways to rescue that water that's used
So
in
we
those
need
ways.
to
It's
make
a difficulty.
we need to make a decision here. Are we going to use the water to make sure that we have agriculture, that we have food, that we sustain our communities? You know, we can't not farm forever. We got to make sure that we have the water that we need. You know, I think we see the business community say, "Oh, we got to support small farmers. We got to support small farmers." Yeah, let's make the decision to do it to make sure that they can continue to farm.
There you go. Last note there. Coming up, how will New Mexico meet the demand for water in the future? Correspondent Gwyneth Dolan talks to State Engineer Scott Verhines and Esteban Lopez. He's the director of the Interstate Stream Commission.